But the problem was that I didn't have the skills that I needed in order to do the things I needed to do. I realized that even when I got to my so-called dream job, which was this job at Syracuse where I'm making six figures and all that, I started to realize like, okay, this isn't really a dream. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I still feel oppressed. I still feel very uncomfortable as a black man because I don't like this environment. These people don't understand me. I don't feel free. I don't feel like I'm really sharing what I know with the right people. I'm talking to the wrong people. I don't They don't need more black people teaching wealth to Jewish kids. No disrespect to Jewish or Asian kids, but Lord Jesus, they got plenty of people in their own community who can talk to them. Who's talking to my people, right? So, long story short, I realized, okay, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of this jail. I literally was thinking to myself, I felt like somebody who was like, I'm going to get out of jail and I'm going to be free. I don't know what's on the other side of that cell, but I got to get out there because I got to get away from here. Right. So when I did that, I had to really accept and confront the fact that despite the fact that I had all these credentials, there were some serious deficiencies in my economic knowledge. I had major deficiencies that involve things like the ability to start a business and become an entrepreneur. You'd be amazed how many business school professors have never started a business, have never even worked for a business. It's kind of embarrassing, right? They'll never admit to it because it's embarrassing. But you spend all your time writing these complex research papers, and so you don't really get that time to get that real world experience. So I just sat down and said, okay, well, we're gonna start from the beginning. I treated myself like I was a dumb high school kid. And I was like, okay, let me just learn every single thing from the very basics, from the very beginning, learn a new culture, learn a new way of thinking, and add that to what I already know. And I knew that after a while that there would be some momentum, right? There would be new habits, and I would be able to take all this other stuff I knew and combine it with the new stuff I'm learning, and then have a whole new set of moves I can make to in order to get where I needed to get to in the world. And so ultimately, what I would say to you is that when you're talking about busting out of a comfort zone, you're gonna have to confront all these things. Also, just generally attachment to a routine. We get into ruts. Life is built around ruts. Think about this. When you hit a certain age, they pretty much give you a system. They give you a procedure. They say your job is to get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. And in between, you're taking care of the kids. Maybe every now and then you get a weekend to actually do something that you want to do. And that's kind of it, though. Like your sense of purpose is defined around two things: the kids and the job. You take away the kids, you take away the job. A lot of times the sense of purpose is gone. People don't know what to do. They're like, okay, maybe I should sit around and watch Netflix and smoke weed all day. I don't know, right? So, so finding, in my view, life is more fun when you can find your own sense of purpose and really confront those habits and bust out of those habits. It's really, really tough to do because we are addicted to the life that is given to us, not to the life that we chose. The life that we chose is typically different from the life that is handed to you. And it's up to you to be able to consciously bust away from that. All right. So give me in your list some of the things that you have been thinking about trying to do, ways you want to grow. And by the way, I want to mention everybody. I sent you all a list. Later on this afternoon, you'll get a list of a bunch of stocks you can buy for under $10. I know some of you are looking to become stock market investors, so I made a list of stocks that cost under $10 for those where your money's maybe a little bit tight or you want to start off slow. So the list will arrive to your text via text at 7 p.m. tonight. So make sure you're on the text list. If you're not on the text list, just text the word morning, MORNING, to 87948. If you text morning to 87948, that list will arrive to you tonight. I've already scheduled it, so it's going to go out a little bit later. All right, so let's see here. Regina says open faith-based counseling practice. Wow, that's really cool. I like that. I like faith-based stuff, Regina, because I feel like even if you're not of a certain religious belief, I like the idea of people having codes of conduct, codes of behavior, just sort of principles that they live by. I don't believe this whole idea of just where you can justify any kind of behavior no matter what. Like, so like I'm not, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes it's real funny to me when I see I know a whole lot of Christians who don't act Christian at all, if you know what I mean. I know a whole lot of unchristianly Christians, if you know what I mean. And I'm kind of like, well, where is the standard? Like, is there a standard here, or can I just do any ratchet thing I want, and as long as I go and give money to the church and ask for forgiveness, everything's okay? Is that what it is? I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. I think that standards and and rules really help. Like a lot of people have an issue with faith-based counseling, for example, for relationships and all that. But actually, I think that that works really well because if you're both on the same page and you are following the same rules, or let's say you both agree, okay, God is more important than my husband or my wife or my marriage, but I'm always committed to God. Then that allows me to be committed to something that is bigger than myself, this perfect entity called God, as opposed to me being committed to the imperfect entity called Alicia, right? So, so because Alicia ain't perfect, I'm not perfect. So if Alicia's committed to me, then and I fail in some area of the marriage, then that commitment is going to falter. But if she's committed to God, then that's a perfect entity for the most part that allows her to say, you know what, no matter what this trifling Negro does, I'm committed to a bigger purpose, so I'm going to stay married to him, or I'm going to focus on fixing the situation, or I'm going to find some capacity for forgiveness that will allow this marriage to continue. So I'm a big fan of it. I don't even go to church, to be honest. I'm not really a devout Christian on any level. My father's a pastor, but I really think that having some higher purpose that you're both committed to goes a very long way when it comes to achieving goals. When you have, and really generally speaking, even though I'm not religious, I have a different kind of religion in the sense that I focus on what the standard is, right?